Hi, it's Andrew McCaskill here from Executive Career Jump, and I wanted to dive on today with a little bit of a rant. And the rant is all about why you are not right to be lowballing salary offers right now as an employer. Number one, just ethically, it's not a good idea. Number two, from a business perspective, it doesn't make sense either. Because if you lowball salary offers, as soon as the market picks up, people are likely to leave. And it's just not a great way to establish trust in your new working relationship. But number three, if I want to put some stats around it and explain the market dynamics, it's also a false economy. Because in a pre-pandemic world for the last 10 years, we've all spoken about three different types of candidates that you could attract into your vacancies. There were the active candidates who were either on the market or were actively looking whilst in post, and they made up about 15% of the talent pool. There were the immovable candidates who nobody could convince to join anywhere, and that was about 15% of the talent pool. And then the latent opportunity, the big opportunity in the middle, were what we often called as headhunters, the passive candidates. So these are candidates that are in role, so they're not desperately looking for a job whatsoever, but they can have their head turned. So if you can take something compelling to them, you can turn their head and you can involve them in your process. So the mathematicians amongst you will realize that means in a pre-pandemic world for the last 10 years, you've broadly speaking had about 85% of the overall candidate pool to go to. Now, in recent times, during the recent downturn and the recession and the pandemic, there's no doubt the amount of available candidates has increased. So whereas it used to be about 15% of the pool, I would say that's probably moved to about 25%. But here's where the challenge comes in. That passive market, so people who are in jobs, have stopped applying for roles and have stopped taking headhunter calls and have stopped being as open to moving. So whereas that used to be a chunky 70%, it's probably more like 25% now. And ultimately, there's probably 50% who are immovable at the moment, feeling risk averse or feeling loyal to their current teams or are excited by the current challenges ahead. So in essence, to summarize, whilst it feels like there's more people on the market, there is, the overall addressable talent pool is now 50% instead of 85%. So if the ethics don't convince you, if the moral argument doesn't convince you, don't lowball salaries because actually it's a false economy. Have a think about that and let's get to work.